Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Sports and welcome back to the Villa. We're joined, as always, by the biggest Aston Villa fan in the United States, Mr. Aaron Slater. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic after a very nice weekend. We had to work for it, but we got there.
Yeah, tell me about it. 3-1 victory over Crystal Palace.
Mhm.
What'd you see out there?
The first half was pretty solid, actually. So the fact that we went 0-0 in the half was kind of disappointing, but overall, the team played pretty well. We got a bunch of shot opportunities on goal. We actually had a goal, but it got chopped off. Pau Torres was able to find Musa Diaby making a beautiful run between the center halves and made an absolutely gorgeous touch to bring it down and put her in the back of the net, but got chopped off because of VAR. So thanks for that, VAR. Appreciate that. Can't get enough of it. But I will talk about
Hey,
Pau.
it
Go ahead.
gives and it takes. Well, actually, I was going to say it's gives and it takes, but it really
It,
just takes.
it does take
Yeah,
it feels like it gives because if it works for you, because then it gives. But if it always takes away. I don't know. You're right. It just takes.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry to
It's
derail.
That's okay. No, VAR is always a hot topic, and everybody loves talking about it.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sure.
yeah, yeah. So Zanilo got his debut home start. The guy we loaned in from Galatasaray. Uh, I thought he looked good, and I expect better of him. He seemed like he wanted to be so much better, and he was forcing a lot, and you could tell that he was trying to make um, a lot of things happen, but it just sometimes he would fall over and he was getting out muscled a little bit. But overall, I liked him going forward. He had a lot of good forward play going on. He actually picked out a pass for somebody, and I can't remember if somebody whiffed on it or just couldn't. It banged off of somebody else, and he's a talented player, and I'm glad we were able to pick him up and use him accordingly to how Unai sees fit. Um, Second half started off really slow. We actually got scored on. Pau Torres unfortunately got mixed up with Mateta, who's much larger. He's a much larger forward, and he just got outmuscled. And Emi Martinez ended up slipping in a really inopportune time. And if he didn't slip, I feel like he probably would have been able to cut out the pass. But unfortunately, things happen like that, and Crystal Palace were able to go up 1-0. Um, Other than that, Crystal Palace didn't do much of anything. They kind of low blocked us the whole time and packed all 11 men behind the ball and just decided to give us a bunch of the possession. And that's what Unai doesn't mind that. So,
Right. Yeah, it's only 6 shots for Crystal Palace.
yeah,
That seems low, right? That's not what you
it,
want.
it is relatively low um, for attacking style teams. It is low for some a Crystal Palace team or counter attacking teams. They tend to get like 6 to 9 shots in that ballpark because they're giving up possession in order for them to be able to counter on the break while the other team sucked into their defense. So it's kind of give or take.
Right. So many strategies. So many
It,
strategies I don't know.
yeah, and
Don't understand.
it's so yeah. Unai plays more of a possession base, so this kind of really played into Villa's hand, but Crystal Palace was so condensed into the middle that the only way that we were able to force any type of attacking play was through the wide areas. But um, it it and then you have to work it back into the middle again. So it's like, it can be difficult if you're not moving it quick enough. And that's what we were seeing in the second half is Villa wasn't snappy with their passes. They weren't able to move it as quick. They were just kind of slow and lackadaisical with it. But eventually we were able to get that late goal where John Duran, an MLS player we bought from Chicago Fire. Yeah, gotta love that, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I'm always happy to see any MLS player make it to the I mean, essentially make it to the big leagues,
I was
right?
gonna say, it is the
Yeah,
big show, to be honest.
yeah,
Like, it, everybody wants to go play. Not everybody, but a lot of players see the Premier League as the king jewel, the crown jewel.
yeah. At least like this level of football,
Sure,
whether
sure.
it's Premier League or what is it, La Liga?
La
Is that
Liga,
the one?
yeah, and
Yeah.
then there's Serie A and
Mhm.
Bundesliga, and I'm forgetting one more, but
I'm
point
learning
is,
slowly.
yeah, we'll bring you. We're getting you up to speed.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, awesome for him. 87th minute, so like
Yeah,
kind of a little close.
it was a little close, but uh, I don't know if you were able to catch that goal. It was phenomenal. It's just like off the chest, let off the volley, off the bounce, and just smashed it with his left foot right past Sam Johnston. And it was phenomenal because then it was all Villa from there. They scored two more goals after that. I can't quite remember. Oh, it was a penalty by
Mhm.
Douglas Luiz, who led up to that was Yuri Tielemans passed the ball between the center halves again, which is where we were breaking them down, as if we could just funnel it to the center halves. But Ali was able to collect, got fouled by, unfortunately, a United States player, Chris Richards,
Mhm.
and the ref the ref took his sweet time checking this out. It took a solid like 3-4 minutes for him to be like, okay, there isn't enough in it for me to overturn my penalty call, so we'll stick with the penalty. Which personally, I think if it takes you that long, then it's not clear and obvious.
Sure. Yeah. No, yeah, you're looking for something,
Right. You're
and
fishing.
yeah,
And it's like, well, it could it if I look at this angle and this angle and this angle, and when they do the VAR thing too, um, there is an official off the field who will tell them what to look for. And we had talked about this in our previous Swinging at Shins podcast 2 weeks ago, actually, how I felt that it, the VAR people are feeding what they want to see, and they're influencing it more than the official on the field, personally. But I think the official on the field needs to um, see how it's played out, not be like told straight up how this is going to break down. But that's how my personal opinion is.
no, I definitely get what you're saying there. I mean, we in the NFL, same thing, right? You have people. It, the Dolphins Patriots game
Hmm.
ended on a thing where they were like looking for, it almost felt like a reason to like
Yes.
extend the game.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, if you like are honest and just look at this objectively, you
Right.
know,
It
this
was.
the game's over. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I obviously I don't want to get into too much of a tangent, but I do have a question.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things, the little like nuances of Premier League football that I'm getting acquainted to. So I've only watched like really tournaments, World Cup,
Hmm.
Olympics. A goal in the 98th minute
Hmm.
usually is the end of the game. Not the case in this game. Tell me
Yeah.
about.
This game went like at least to the 105th minute, I believe. And Leon Bailey, we were just talking about him, saying how he needs to pick it up, and he was able to get a nice little tap in by ex teammate, now teammate Musa Diaby. It was a great run by Diaby, who brought it to the byline and was able to pick out Bailey on the back post. And in the 101 minute, Leon Bailey was able to continue his streak for only scoring at home. But I'll take a score anytime. It doesn't really matter.
Well, of course, and I mean, obviously, it matters a lot with the goal differential as being a tiebreaker here. But
Absolutely.
so basically, extra time. That's just the time. That's the new end of the game. It's not a sudden death at all.
No, correct. It's the Crystal Palace players were trying to milk out the minutes, is what I'll say. Like in World Cup, you saw those stacked stoppage times where it was like 8 to 10 to 11 minutes. Same thing. They're Premier League's trying to implement the same thing where the teams who are trying to milk out the minutes are going to get punished for milking out the minutes.
Gotcha. Makes sense. See, and like I said, always fun to learn new stuff here. So overall, happy with this victory.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we got the win that we were looking for at home. I believe it extends us to 10 home wins in a row, which I believe is a record for Villa. And Douglas Luiz was able to extend his home scoring streak to 4, which ties Gareth Barry for the record for having scored at home. So two good accolades happen here.
Very nice. And now back up to seventh in the standings. So
Yes, sir.
obviously it's early. So what does that matter? But it's nice to be up there.
I mean, we could be like Chelsea or United right now. So
Yeah. For those listening, 13th and 14th.
yeah,
Those two.
have fun down there.
Oh man. All right. So we got the first match day of 6 for the group stage of the Europa Conference League
Yep,
against, oh boy, Liga Warsaw.
Warsaw.
Okay.
I had to look it up too. Don't worry. I was like, I have no idea
This is
how to.
why you're here. So I can say it in a funny way and you can be like, no, that's not it. So
I,
tell me about that.
I would have said it a funny way too. I'm telling you, I would have. I had to look this up in order to make sure that this was right.
Oh man. So yeah, tell me about this. What do we got going on here?
So we're away in Poland. That's where Liga Warsaw plays. They're third in their table, and they've only given up 3 goals. So it's going to be. I mean, obviously Villa should win this match. They're far and away the better team, right? It's
There's
like
levels in the competition.
also there's
Yeah.
a lot of money and that's paying. At Villa have that League of Warsaw don't, and
Yeah.
quality obviously will be better. But I can only imagine that League of Warsaw is going to end up trying to do what Crystal Palace did: is
Mm.
is wait for a counter, pack it in and see what happens, kind of deal. We should win this match. It shouldn't. It might be something to the tune of 4-1 because I don't expect Villa to not get scored on. They're away. It's a hostile area, so and it is still Villa's first time in 15 or so years that they have gone to a European conference tournament. So still some jitters. You could tell that with Hibernia when they played, but I think it'll kind of pan out and we should win this match handily.
Awesome. And then after that on Sunday, that's on Thursday for those listening at home who want to tune in. On Sunday, 9 a.m., Chelsea. That we just kind of, poke fun at. But
Mm-hmm.
now Villa's going to play them. What are you expecting out of that match?
I also still expect a win out of this match, to be honest. Um, Chelsea couldn't even handle Bournemouth, and they went and they drew that match 0-0. So honestly, I know Chelsea are home, and actually they don't really play that well at home this year. So really, Villa just need to show up, put a goal in, go home. I don't actually have a score prediction. I can whip one on the fly, obviously, because it's not that hard to think of a score prediction.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but Chelsea are missing a ton of players again this year. They're missing a ton of players. I don't think the tactics that Maurizio Pochettino has tried to put in place has really clicked with the players. I think there's a lot of fragments happening, and it's just a lot of single-minded players going on right now. So I think Villa should be able to pick apart Chelsea, get a couple goals. I really think this should be 2-1, 2-0. I'm going to sit on 2-1 though.
All right.
And I think that'll be a win for us and go home. Well, I don't know what the next match is, but we'll worry about that when we
Yeah.
talk about
Next
Villa
up.
beating Chelsea.
Exactly. All right. Anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to?
Um, Let me see. Oh, I missed out on Pau Torres. I want to give a Pau Torres shout out. He played extremely well against Crystal Palace. Completed 119 passes for a center back, which is
That's
really
crazy.
good.
Yeah.
He it would at a 90% clip. He almost had an assist with a Musa Diaby VAR callback, no goal. He's what Unai wanted from a center back, and that's a guy who can go direct and find players over the top of the defense, like Diaby or Watkins, or out wide. Being able to ping the ball from the center back position. He's a very good player. I just think that his only improvement for me is that he just needs to get a little stronger and not get out muscled.
Yeah. So, shout out, as you said. Um, and have you guys recorded swinging shins yet for this week?
No, I
Not
have
yet.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about
Okay.
next.
No tease. If you want to find out, you gotta fucking watch it.
Yeah, you really got to listen.
Yeah. That's of course the top link in the description, as always. So yeah. Other than that, Aaron, anything you want to plug other than swinging shins and
I mean, we talk about Albany Gooners. Come to
yep,
Beer Garden. Them too. Go to Beer Garden. Say hi to Carl.
yeah,
They love having your company out there.
yeah. So please do that, and you can stick with the channel. We got almost NHL and NBA. They're almost back. The
Hmm.
NFL's in full swing, and of course, the Premier League is in full swing. So please stick with the channel, and thank you so much for listening. And Aaron, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brian.
We'll see you all in the next one.